I'm gonna vent my frustration because I'm mad. I'm frustrated. You can't get away with this for too much longer, man. Like, enough is enough.
Protests took place across downtown Akron well into last night after it was announced that a grand jury would not charge the 8 officers in the shooting death of Jayland Walker. These protests led to Akron schools being closed today, and right now, a section of downtown Akron is under a high security alert. This morning, we are taking a closer look at the timeline of this case and what all sides said yesterday afternoon.
Lena Lai tells us about what investigators called evidence the public saw for the first time just yesterday.
I would ask that during these times of tension and trauma, that you turn towards one another and not on each other.
Calls for peace and calm from Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan following the news that 8 Akron police officers will not face charges for the shooting death of Jayland Walker.
The grand jury concluded that the officers were legally justified in their use of force.
Attorney General Dave Yost laying out the evidence presented to the grand jury. Last June, a car and foot chase that ended with the death of Walker in a hail of police gunfire. In 6.7 seconds, 94 shots fired, 46 shots hit Walker.
The law allows officers to use deadly force to defend themselves or others against a deadly threat.
Prosecutors pointed to ODOT cameras that captured Walker's car being chased by police, calling the bright light coming from the driver's side the flash of gunfire, which Yost says was aimed at police. So when officers chased Walker on foot and when he made a turning motion and reached toward his waistband, officers unloaded their guns.
It is critical to remember that Mr. Walker had fired on the police and that he shot first.
Turns out Walker had no gun in his hand, having left it behind in his car.
A comprehensive examination of the entire incident.
Akron police will now use the evidence presented to the grand jury to begin its own internal investigation and review of the shooting.
I will use the findings to determine if any policies or procedures were violated by any officer, or if any policy, procedure, or tactic should be modified.
But still not clear a motive. Walker had no criminal history, no alcohol or drugs in his system. But we do know that Walker had recently lost his fiancée in a car crash. And next to the gun that he left behind, a wedding band.
Lena, thank you. We're also learning that in the month before the shooting, investigators found Walker's Google records showed that he searched multiple times for quickest ways to die. And one of his close friends told investigators that Walker had asked about police tactics, specifically how do people get cops to shoot them. Walker's family and attorneys are expressing shock and disappointment over the decision.
Yeah, Brianna Dahlquist is in Akron with more on what they're calling complete heartbreak. They had some passionate comments after this decision, Brianna.
Yeah, good morning, Maureen. Heartbreak doesn't even begin to explain or even describe the type of sorrow that this family is going through right now. And as protesters took to the streets right here in Akron to demand justice for Jayland, Jayland's mom wept bitterly inside of a local church. Now, family attorney Bobby DiCello not expecting the grand jury's decision not to indict the officers who shot and killed the 25-year-old. Their pastor offering his condolence this morning.
Our hearts are hurting. Our hearts are heavy. We talk about peace. Pamela and Jada are not feeling peaceful right now. We're not advocating violence at all, but we don't feel peaceful. They're broken into pieces. We talk about being calm. How can we be calm when the injustice we believe has happened? This is a sad, sad day for our family and our community. I'm profoundly sad.
Akron Police Department, when you call for peace, when you call for no destruction, when you call for respect, where was your respect for Jayland? So no, We are not condoning violence, and I'm so sorry that we have to get up here and continue this narrative, because we are asking people to speak up. Black and brown people, we have carved our way to justice from the beginning. It's never come easy, and it's never come fair.
And while protesters say they just demand justice for Jayland, their family is saying they cannot accept this verdict. They just can't accept it in their hearts and their minds and their souls. They can't accept it. Their attorney, that family attorney, is going to now file a civil lawsuit against the city of Akron. Guys, back to you.
All right, and Brianna, we will be paying attention today, of course, as possibly more protests continue. Thank you so much. And we have all of the updates on this developing story on our website, WKYC.com. You can also get updates using the 3 News app.